All right, Micklers. There's a new bottle on the block for competing for Bourbon of the Year.
That's big talk.
Let's review it and find out.
Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to review the Maker's Mark Cellar Aged 2023 release.
So this has been a very highly sought after bottle.
Yes.
People pulling strings, people paying ridiculous amounts of money, at least in our area. I knew this bottle would be popular. I didn't realize it was going to be that popular.
Yeah.
But really quick, before I keep going into that, let me just say a little bit about the stats of the bottle. So this is Cellar Age. This is, I think it might be the oldest age stated product from makers that's like came out to the public. I could be wrong. I didn't do any research into that. But I feel like Fred Minnick maybe said that because he was the first one to put out a review of it. And if you watched it, you saw how excited he was. That's putting it very politely.
Yeah.
He was going for it. But to be fair to him, he's been preaching about how makers should be doing this forever and a day. So give him total credit where credit's due. But really quick, this is 115 proof. This is a blend of, it's like 87% 12-year-old whiskey and 13% 11-year-old whiskey. It is their standard mash bill. It's 100. I think I paid $175.
Yeah.
I think MSRP is like 150.
That's a pricey Maker's Mark.
That is a very pricey Maker's Mark, considering that they don't do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that they don't do at all.
Which always blew my mind. Like, why not?
Well, I mean, they are a top 5 producer, top 5 money maker when it comes to whiskey.
I know.
So, I mean, what they're doing works.
I know. You don't have to do it, but...
No, you don't. I mean, most distilleries where you make all your money, you make all your money on the cheap shelf stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So I do kind of get it. But with all of this being said, I do want to talk a little bit about the bottle count and everything else. So from my understanding, there's going to be 20,000 of these bottles hit the country, United States, and then another 10,000 goes over overseas. So I assumed, poorly, that I would be able to get one and get a couple backups if I really enjoyed it. I had to pull every string and every hookup, every phone call I could make just to get this one.
Yeah.
Because they're gone. Like, they are gone from our area, and it didn't take any time for it. They are, I don't know if it's just our area or if this will be everywhere. But, whenever I think of like a release like this, so, a standard like Stag Junior, but Stag release is around 10 to like 11,000 bottles.
Yeah.
And a lot of our stores in our area get like a case.
Maybe 2.
Yeah,
Just depends on
the size of the store.
Yeah.
And, which it is. If it's Liquor Barn, Cox's, Total Wine, so on and so forth. Most stores only got like 2 to 3 bottles of this.
Yeah.
And most of them went to the bars. If they had bars in their store, most of them went to that, which I don't blame them. But it is kind of crazy. I'm curious if the distillery will release this as well. At least for us, we hope so.
For sure, we hope so.
But
But we will be riding to get one, hopefully. I haven't even tasted it yet, so I'm anxiously awaiting. I feel like he's just talking mumbo jumbo right now just to keep me from drinking it.
Nah, you start
No,
doing your thing. I've already drank it.
I know you have.
I've already drank it.
I know you have.
So going back though to this, we'll see. This is supposed to also be an annual release. I don't know if I'm assuming the age statement and stuff will all be different and probably the proof.
Yeah, you would think so.
But yeah.
And when you put the handy dandy little gold 2023 release, you just assume like, okay, this is here to stay for a little bit, or they would have just left it cellar aged and been done with it.
Yeah, basically the whole conversation of all this, them aging in a cellar, it's just like where the temperature is just like 40 something degrees year round.
Yeah. Chilly.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're still one of the few companies that still hand rotated these barrels. They're one of the few that actually still do. Most of them don't, or they have like a little machine that does.
They're one of the few that play classical music and
stop.
And pay someone to sleep beside it. and tell it bedtime stories. It's a beautiful thing.
You're going to need to start giving notes because I'm going to start going on a rant about this bottle. Because I got things to say.
Well, I think first off, I think the overwhelming nose on this is like it's got a fruitiness and a spiciness to it that kind of meld really well together.
Mm-hmm.
And that feels like the most. It doesn't smell like a normal Maker's Mark smells to me.
Not at all. I'm getting ready to. I'll explain why here once you're kind of done.
I mean, those are the things that it smells well balanced in a lot of ways. Just
I would agree.
All the things about it just come together and make it smell really nice. Makes it really appealing to the nose. That's what I'll say.
That palate's so dang good.
I mean, honestly, that does not disappoint at all.
No.
As a matter of fact, it goes with the nose really, really well.
So I agree with Dave on the fruit. There's a really nice, like, rich fruit to that, really sugary fruit. There's also really nice, like, sugary oak notes. Like, just, it's almost like, it's not quite like a rum finish or anything like that. There's just like a smidge of like a sugar cane from like some kind of rum in there. It's awesome. But the thing I want to talk about that I get from this a whole lot is it comes off so much like a dusty Maker's Mark. And dusty Makers are some of my favorite. I love them. They are cheap and affordable to find and get. There's a lot of them. And it's super, super good. And I talk about all the time, those 1996 UK Championship bottles are so good. And everybody's like, well, it's just because you're a UK fan. I'm like, no, they could say any team.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally could say any team.
Yeah.
And it would be great because they are.
It's funny, they did, like with U of L's championship one, they did something really fascinating with it. They aged it for 15 seconds.
Stop. How am I supposed to give tasting notes after that statement? All right. I'm sorry.
We digress.
Anyways, going back.
The fruitiness, like coming back to it, sat it down for a second and coming back to it, that fruitiness really pops again. Like I think even more so than originally.
There's almost like a really nice like apple pear slice in there as well.
It is like, I think it's a pear.
There's some really nice oak tannins in there. It is.
Here's the.
Hold on, I want to compliment you. You said something that I hadn't really thought of, but you said how well put together it is. It is very well put together.
Yeah.
Like the story that nose to palate to finish. I haven't even started talking about finish yet. Is so good. Compliments to the chef on that one. Sorry, go ahead.
It's the person who slept in the pillow beside it and told it bedtime stories. That's how it got aged so well. By the way, if that's a job that ever comes open, I'm happy to sleep beside a barrel and tell it bedtime stories.
Here's what I love. So I think the nose is really good. I think the palate's actually better. I think the palate gets really juicy. And you get like...
Yeah, the more you drink on it.
Yes, some brown sugars pop.
Yep.
Some really like high-end and really super expensive like chocolate is on there.
Yeah.
Like if you're like from Sweden or wherever you're from, something like that. And then as good as what the palate is, then you get to that finish. You get all that really awesome oak spice. And there's like a maple ice cream bar on there. And it is just so...
There's definitely something mapley right on the end of it.
It's so good and powerful. Like on there. It's excellent. It is fan-freaking-tastic. Like they have done a great job with this.
Yeah, my only thing is I wish the finish was a bit longer.
Man, I think that has a pretty good finish to it.
That's my only disappointment. Like, it's not, to me, it doesn't feel super long.
All right, that's fair.
But what's there is really good. Like from start to finish, it's really good.
Very savory.
Yeah.
It makes you want to drink more.
I think you're 100% correct on that. Like, I would have to hide this bottle.
Oh yeah. No. This is. I'm telling y'all right now. This, to me, you certify this as Whiskey of the Year contender right now.
Yeah. I can get on board with that.
I am shocked at how much I liked it. I thought I would like it. I assumed, okay, it'll be good, not great. This is great, in my opinion.
My worry is that it's going to knock the Michter's 10.
I mean, if it does, it does.
It does, just from the proof alone.
If it does, it does.
Yeah.
How I look at it is, as much as I might enjoy a bottle, if there's a better bottle that comes along, it is what it is. So
yeah. So here's the deal. If you like Maker's Mark, you might as well try to find this somewhere and get it. It may be on bars. It may not be. Listen, it's like our hands are.
Well, so there's gonna be. Look, I know this doesn't sound like a lot in a lot of ways, but this is what I tell people. There's gonna be 20,000 bottles of this. In theory, they have to drop these. I don't know when. I don't know where. But in our area, we're hardly getting any.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, if you're in the Louisville area, be on the look. Use all your contacts. Try to get it. It's definitely worth having.
Yeah.
It's a thumbs up in my book. This is either 1 or 1A right now in best bourbon so far. So
yeah, out of all of them that we've tried, probably it's definitely in the top 4 that we've had so far.
Yeah. So if you can get it, get it. Turn on the likes, hit the notifications, all that good stuff. Subscribe to the channel.
So good.
And until the next time,
We'll see you.
We'll see you.